Alright guys, we're just going to go ahead and get into the video. We actually made an intro to this, but it was a hot mess. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Too Faced Hangover RX primer and also the Benefit Professional. And we're obviously just going to put that on her face. Like I said, we did make a intro and outro to this video, but again, it was a hot mess. So we're just going to go in with the voiceover and do all over that. So the next thing we're going to do is take her Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. I will list all of the shades and stuff below. In my previous video, I actually said do not do this on clients, dot it all around, but this isn't a client, this is like Casey, you know, I kind of know how she works. But if you are a makeup artist, I would say don't really do that to clients because you don't know how much makeup they're going to need and you don't want to cake it up. This is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye in the shade Medium, and this is my favorite concealer ever. This will literally cover up everything. Not that she has a lot to cover up, but you get the point. I'm just going to put that under her eye with a little brush. I don't really like to put concealer with my fingers on other people. Then I'm just going to blend that out with a beauty blender. I'm sure we were talking about something really dumb. This video took us like an hour to film, but yeah. I want to thank Casey real quick for letting me do her makeup. I was talking about somebody else's video. I was throwing shade. Yeah, so I just want to thank Casey for letting me do this. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind, and this is just to highlight her face. And we're just going to make her look like a little Indian, which is fun. So Casey actually came down, and she had been sick before this, so I'm really glad that she got to come down and let me do her makeup. So again, we're using the Beauty Blender. I would recommend the Beauty Blender to literally anybody because it is the best tool ever, in my opinion, obviously. This is the Kat Von D Shade Light Palette. Mine is busted. As you can see, it has got a lot of use. I'm patting out her concealer to make sure we're not setting any creases, and then I'm going to set that with that banana shade. Also, my arm looks literally so orange in this video most of the time, but I swear it's not orange in person. Just the lighting changed a lot throughout this video. Sometimes we were orange, sometimes we were super duper white, so sorry about that. It's just because we like to use natural lighting rather than studio lights. But yeah, so I'm just patting out her concealer once again, just so I don't set any creases. Then I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D brush and banana shade and set her under eyes. I'm setting her lid actually with the lighter shade, not the banana shade. I don't know if that really made a difference, but yeah. This is the Josie Maran Argan Illuminizer, and I'm just going to put a little bit on her cheekbones. This didn't make too much of a difference, but it was a little bit of a difference. I'm going to pat that in with the Beauty Blender. Then I'm going to use my favorite setting powder ever, the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. This powder is freaking everywhere, and it's everywhere for a reason. Super hyped up for a good reason. It's amazing, and I would definitely recommend it for anybody with any kind of skin. This is the Kat Von D shade, the middle shade in that contour kit. I'm just bronzing up the cheekbones. Actually, it looks like I'm contouring, but like I was trying to bronze it mostly. I was talking about her baby hairs out there, which is fun. So I actually bronzed her up real good and contoured a lot because I think that highlight shade I put on was a little bit too light, which is okay because we can fix it, of course. Of course, we're going to do that to the other side as well. I did use the e.l.f. powder as well, a little bit, but it was kind of a little bit light for her skin because she is a little bit darker than me. See, as you can see, this is the e.l.f. This is the bronzer palette, and I just bronzed her up a little bit. And she was telling me that the brush smelled really good because I used my butter bronzer with it. So like I said, I was just kind of bronzing up her skin because I wanted to kind of darken up her foundation a little bit. Not too much. I brought it down her neck because I did not bring her foundation down her neck because I don't like my foundation down my neck. I didn't know if she did or not, but I do not. This is the e.l.f. blush in the shade Tickled Pink. Alright, so this is just the blush Tickled Pink like I just said. She is kind of more into blush than I am. I was going to use Luminoso, which I think would have worked, but we didn't. We used e.l.f. I'm just going in with the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder and going to bake her under eyes real quick. Again, I love this Laura Mercier Translucent. It's the best setting powder ever, and if you haven't used it with your Beauty Blender, it's amazing. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is a little bit too light for her skin as well. Obviously, this bronzer could be like a setting powder for her. And honestly, right here is where it gets crazy. Okay, so I just show a bunch of eye palettes. The reason I do that is because I was just kind of going through different eye palettes and different shades. I will list every single specific shade that I used in the bottom bar below, but I'm not going to specifically say it because I don't really know at this point. But yeah, so I'm just going in with a basic white shade. That is the basic white shade from the Laura Lee palette with Vivos. I do know that. This is the shade Latte from Lorac, and I'm just putting that in her crease. I do move the camera in just a minute so you can kind of see. But yeah, so I just put that in her crease as a transition shade and a little bit of definition. Sorry, this went blurry, but it'll fix in just a second. This is just a darker brown shade from the Too Faced palette. Just going in and deepening up that crease. Nothing too crazy. And honestly, for the next couple shadows, it's just darker browns, and I just kind of deepened up the crease in the outer corner with darker browns. I used some stuff from the Laura Lee palette, the Vibe Off palette as well. That's the same palette. The Lorac palette, the Too Faced palette, the Morphe palette. I used a little bit of everything, but like I said, I will put specific shades down below. For this, I just used the kind of red tone shade in the Too Faced palette. I know it doesn't really look red, which I was kind of like, excuse you. I think that Casey would be so freaking pretty. This is what I had in mind, honestly, but this did not turn out the way I planned. So this red shade was supposed to be a lot more red than it is, but it was not. This is just a latte shade again, but that red was supposed to be a lot more red, and I was going to have like a rose gold lid, but anywho, that's beside the point. This is a couple of warm shades from the Laura Lee palette. You can kind of see the eyes get a little bit warmer. Just a couple of orangey shades because my mind had changed at this point because, you know what, it was not going good. And this is just deepening up the crease a little bit. I was trying to get it more red, but it was not working, okay? But we made do with what we had, and yeah, so this is the Tickled Pink shade from the Laura Lee Voss palette, and I did spray this with some setting spray to make it a little bit more extra, and I just put this on her lid. As I blend more colors onto the outer corner and into the crease, you can kind of see it lose intensity, but we will go fix that in just a minute. Wipe away the bakage, wipe away any fallout that we may have, which we did have a little bit of fallout, but that's okay because, again, we just wiped it away. This is a dark brown shade from the Too Faced palette. I just put this underneath her eyes. Whenever she does her makeup, she never smokes out her lower lash line, and that's like one of my favorite things to do. So I had to do that, obviously. I just went in and smoked it out with a pencil brush and a warm shade from the Laura Lee palette. I keep wanting to say the Laura Mercier palette, but like that's not right. So yeah, we're just kind of smoking this out. Her eyes, I feel like they used to be bigger, but her eyes are kind of big, so we wanted to really smoke it out to make them really pop. So again, just smoking this out with a bigger brush just so it'll smoke out a little bit more. I don't want to get too close to her eyeball with a pencil brush. I'm going in with a little bit of black. Actually, I'm pretty sure it wasn't black. I'm pretty sure it was just like a really dark brown. I didn't want to put too much black on her eyes to close her eyes because we were obviously smoking it out to open them. I'm putting a little bit more of that latte shade from Lorac into the crease to really blend out those harsh lines of the Tickled Pink shade. Obviously, we do not need no harsh lines, boo-boo. This is L'Oreal Infallible Amber Rush, and I just kind of put that over it. I don't really know why, but I thought it was cute, so I did. And then we blended that out, of course. This is my least favorite thing in the whole entire video that I did. I feel like this, I don't know. If I would go back, I would not do this. But I just put a little bit of liner on top of her eyelid. I didn't want to do a wing because she said that she doesn't think that winged liner looks good on hooded eyes. If you can't tell, she has hooded eyes, but this is like, I hate that I did this. I feel like it would have been so much prettier if I would have just put a little bit of black shadow and really smoked it out. But, anywho, I did put some black liner on there and tried to smoke it out, but it did not work. So, yeah, that's basically what this hot mess is. We're just gonna put that in there for some reason. But like I said, if I did her makeup again, I definitely would not do this. This is probably my least favorite part of the entire thing because, I don't know, I just really didn't like the way the liner and stuff turned out. She was singing ABC by Jackson 5 because apparently that's like one of her favorite songs. Who knew? Keep in mind, she is 15 years old, and Jackson 5 was like in the 90s, 80s. One of those. What can you do? She was just dancing, killing it, you know. I don't even know why I put this in here, honestly. Couple more seconds of the dance party here. I just had to check. I'm pretty sure I meant to edit this out, but you know what? You guys will get to see a true side of Casey. She looks great. She's phenomenal. Again, thank you for letting me do your makeup. She's killing it. You know, those are her signature Casey faces. Alright, back to the makeup. So this is where I actually put the liner on, and I literally cut it out because I was like, I hate that. She got a little bit of mascara on her nose. I let her do her own mascara because I do not trust myself doing other people's mascara because I feel like I'm going to poke them in the eye. And the last thing, not the last thing, next thing is a highlight, and then she did some lipstick. And again, I will list everything down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I promise you, we did get that off of her nose, that mascara. See, there you go. And then she's going to do some lipstick. And yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and tell Casey thank you in the comments below.